Okay, so this is a fun one. This one is called raise Cain. Raise Cain. And this has two meanings. Okay? The first one that I can think of means to protest or complain aggressively, very aggressively. So when I was in elementary school, um, first year, I lived with my dad. Okay, because my mom was in the process of moving, and it was hard for her to take care of me. So my dad wanted to spend some time with me, so she let me live with him. And so my first year of school, I went to a certain elementary school, and but then when my mom got all situated in her house, um, because we sort of moved from far away to a little bit closer to my dad, right? So I was going to have to, uh, when I was going to move back in with my mom, um, I was going to have to change schools, right? To go from the the one that was in my dad's area to the one that was in my mom's area. But it was all part of the same school district. And I was comfortable in my school where I spent the first grade, right? I regarded that as my school, and I had friends there. And uh, so, actually, I should have had to go to the one near my mom, but my mom called up to the school board and raised Cain. Raised Cain means she was just complaining, and well, I don't know why. Why does he have to change schools? The school bus goes to the school that he was originally at. Why should he have to change schools if he doesn't want to, right? And so actually, for 6 years, I rode the school bus a long way, right? Just so I could keep my original school. And it was the whole time it was against the policy of the school district, right? For me to go to that school, living in the location where I lived, right? But since my mom called up and raised Cain, okay, then I got to uh, go to the school that I wanted to go to, raise Cain. Okay, so that's one meaning. Another one is to another meaning of raise Cain is to sort of go out and uh, maybe drink and party and make some noise, right? Make some noise and create a kind of a disturbance, and let's party in a loud way, right? So that's two meanings. One is to complain, and the other one is to sort of uh, party in a loud way, noisy way, or a noticeable way, right? So let's take a look at. I want to talk about the origin of it, right? Okay, so okay, to raise Cain, to react or protest loudly, heatedly. That's what my mom did. And the next one is to create a boisterous, means noisy, disturbance. Okay, or to cause a commotion. This is sort of like repeating the same thing. To cause a commotion. Okay, so those two. To cause a commotion is the party one, and to react or protest heatedly. Okay, okay. So now we got to talk about what this. I think the original meaning of this is fun, or it's actually a terrible story, but we're going to talk about it. Okay, so this is a story of Cain and Abel. Whole bunch of people that are watching this video are going to know this story, Cain and Abel. So you got the firstborn son, and he became a farmer, and he was growing crops. And then the secondborn son was a shepherd, right? So both of those two made sacrifices to God. And this is really a story about jealousy, right? This is the lesson of it is sort of like don't be jealous, right? So both of these two, they made sacrifices to God. And this guy, Cain, would burn some of his crops as a sacrifice to God. And this guy would kill one of his sheep. Well, for some reason, God preferred his sacrifices, and you know, like I don't know how it exactly happened. You know, maybe when when Cain burned his crops, he was just like, "Oh, thanks, yeah." And when Abel killed one of his sheep, he's like, "Oh, thank you." You know, I really appreciate that. So anyway, it was obvious that um, God preferred his sacrifices. So Cain was like, "Hey, I'll fix this situation. If Abel's dead, then God won't have any choice but to prefer my sacrifices. So I'll just kill him because he's causing me to feel bad, right?" And so he killed him, and then so God punished him. So it was sort of like the first story of jealousy, right? So I guess that's one of the lessons of the thing. Okay, and this is just the story. Cain was a farmer and his brother Abel was a shepherd. The brothers made sacrifices to God, but God favored Abel's sacrifice instead of Cain's. So Cain then murdered Abel, and then God punished him by kicking him out of the area. So anyway, now I could not find any. I told you that my mom raised Cain, which means to react or protest heatedly, but I couldn't find any examples on this on YouTube, right? Um, so all of this is the partying one, right? So
Raise Cain, whatever. You get tardy. We're drinking, raise Cain, whatever.
so he's talking about when he was in the military, saying that a lot of people used to go out and drink and raise Cain, but he didn't do that.
Cain, there is where it comes. I'm going to go out and raise Cain, right? We know that. Let's go raise some Cain.
Okay, let's go raise some Cain, right? Means let's go get noisy and party loudly. Okay, so anyway, I think it's a fun expression. Um, so you can, let's say, how could you use this? You could say, well, I went up and raised Cain with the school board, like my mom went up and she raised Cain with the school board, or, like mother could go in and raise Cain with the teacher because she didn't like the way her child was treated. You could go and go down to the city hall and raise Cain down at city hall because the roads are not fixed, like that. Or you could, I guess you could raise Cain with your boss if you had enough power, right? If you had some kind of a job that made you difficult to fire, right? You could go into your boss and raise Cain. So let's say if you were a maintenance guy, those guys have safe jobs, right? Because nobody knows their job, right? And so let's say if you were a maintenance guy and you didn't have the right tool for the job, you could go into your boss and raise Cain, which means to complain, right? So All right. And then, like, let's say, for example, this is a kind of cliched scene. Like, let's say, you know, so this guy, he's out with his buddies drinking a beer after work, right? And he says, I got to go. I got to go because if I stay any longer, dinner's going to be cold and my wife's going to raise Cain. Or you're talking about it the next day. Oh, my wife really raised Cain with me, when I got home because I got home so late and I was out drinking, right? So it could be like that. Okay, I will talk to you on the next idiom.